Go.
So in the quest for world peace through inner peace, it all starts with self-love and being willing to show up. The song is Showing Up. It took some time to get there, to claim my power for my welfare. I used to put everyone else first, and it made me fully spent until I learned that I can choose no matter what, to keep on showing up, to do whatever must be done, to care for me. And when I anchor in self-love, my will cannot be budged. I'm true to myself and to my dreams, so I'll be showing up for me. There's so much more that I can give, after I've filled my tank right up to the lid. And these things I do that make me well, they uplift me and uplift everybody else. Yes, they do. So you can bet no matter what, I will be showing up, knowing each step I take will touch everyone I see. Staying anchored in self-love, I do my part to rise above any fear or negativity. So I'll be showing up for me, towards a world of peace and happiness. If it's gonna heal me, grow me, I say yes, yes, yes. And some days that's sure tough, but when push comes to shove, know that I'll be showing up, 'cause I commit no matter what, to keep on showing up. Yeah, I'll be working on my stuff eternally. Some may say how far I've come and think it's just my luck, but ooh, I know the real story. So I've been showing up, yeah, yes. Ooh, I've been showing up, yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, I've been showing up for me. When people criticize and hate and judge, and I'm tempted to feel like I'm not enough, when life throws me some really bad punch that hurts so bad I'm wondering what is up. I keep showing up, keep showing up, keep showing up, yeah, yeah. Through stress and pain, I show up as my best friend, again and again and again and again and again. I keep showing up, keep showing up, keep showing up, yeah, yeah. Keep showing up, keep showing up, keep showing up, hey, yeah, keep showing up.
Thank you, Gwen. Gwen Pearl, everybody. Good morning, good morning. I'm Reverend Sharon Dunn-Alberg. I'm your senior minister, your spiritual director here, at welcoming you, and especially to our new space, new to us space. It's wonderful. I just want to say, someone's in the house. He came up to us months ago and said, you know, I'm a painter, and I'm going to paint for Sanctuary. I'm gonna do that in service. And he's in the house. Emmett Walker in the house. And so here we are, and it's beautiful. I mean, look at this. Okay, so enough. Of course, we all have our cell phones off. And yes, drum roll. We also have
I think so. Yeah.
an opportunity here to share our demonstrations. And what is a demonstration? Answered prayer. something maybe you put a prayer request in, and and the situation, circumstance, condition changed favorably. Does anyone have a demonstration they want to share today?
Your mic's not working.
Your microphone is not on?
Well, no, it's on. It's just going in and call.
Maybe that's why.
That's why.
So the demonstration is that we have a sound person here today who actually is answered prayer. And, you know, I'm glad you came up, tore my thing apart just to get the attention that I want to give you. Who gave us our sound system? And who comes here to help us get it together? Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So let's move on. I have the honor and privilege to bring forward one of our board members and a licensed Centers for Spiritual Living practitioner, Max Overland.
Thank you, Reverend Sharon. And thank you, Gwen, for your song, Showing Up. I love that. Showing up is so important. All we have to do is just be there, be here, be in this place. And in this moment, will you share with me and repeat with me our vision, mission, and purpose? Our vision: we are a welcoming sanctuary community where all are accepted, valued, and supported in the global family. Our mission: we inspire personal and global transformation through the teachings of science of mind. And our purpose: in joy and love, we connect in service to all life. And with that, let's pray. Take a nice deep breath. And as you exhale, be here with me in this moment and know that there is one Spirit, one God, and we are connected to it. It is in and through everything that is here. For everything that is in front of us in this moment is answered prayer. Know with me that because there is one God, we are connected to it. And in that connection, we know that service this morning, the message that is to come, the music that we are about to hear, will break open our hearts and transform us in this moment, in a twinkling of an eye. We shall be different. From this moment forward, we get to experience a new life. We get to experience a new mind. We get to experience a new self. And for this, I am grateful. I am going to release these words into the action of the law, this word into the action of the law, knowing that all that is within my mind, heart, and soul is spirit, is joy, is peace. And so it is. And if you will join me in our readings this morning. When we know our oneness with God and law, what a great burden is removed. Any sense of opposition is removed from the consciousness which perceives unity. Ernest Holmes. Man does not simply exist, but always decides what his existence will be, what he will become in the next moment. Viktor Frankl. And at the deepest level, there is infinite peace, undisturbed by the play of opposites and the clash of darkness versus light. From the soul's perspective, there is only pure being, Deepak Chopra. And if we will have our next song with Gwen, Energy of Love. Thank you.
Would you believe it if I told you you could love yourself into health? Believe it, could you surrender? Open up, feel enough to receive the energy of love. High vibrations connecting us, 'cause we are one. The energy of love. What miracles are made of? They're made of the energy of love. connecting us, 'cause we are one, the energy of love.
That was the short version of the song. For the long version, Sue, Laura, and I are working on a Music for the Heart event with a target date of November 8th, and we'll share more about that as it develops.
So, the music, and I'm coming back from it. You know, that was so amazing. It is what we're talking about today. Because, like, I feel like why we're here, and I say this each week, because why are we here, is to get something, a reminder, a practice, something we can do when we leave here that makes our lives better and makes the world better, creating a world that works for everyone. And so today we're talking about love, and she comes up and does that. And Gwen writes all her own music. So let me find my way back. I have the great honor to have my prayer partner of 16 years, 17, whatever.
Math is hard.
Math is hard. Here today, sharing the pulpit with me, Reverend Susan Overland, who is the beloved of our board member, Max Overland. So we have the Overlands in the house. In the house. So yes, we want to come back to earth. Thank you, Gwen. There needs to be a song about getting the minister back to earth when we're finished. So today's topic is waking up to oneness. And we're using the theme Pieces into Peace for the whole month. And I had this revelation that I talk about separation, as Ernest Holmes describes separation as hell. That's what we say hell is. Separation. Separation from the one and separation from each other. That is really big for us right now in our country. And so what I want to do today is be curious about what it is we can do to bring us all back together in the next few months. And that is possible.
And beyond.
Let me convince you. So I had this last week I talked about falling to pieces, and I gave an example from my own life. But this time I had this revelation that falling to pieces is separation. And I didn't put that together. And, you said something about a puzzle?
Yeah. Yes. We were talking earlier, and I just wanted to ask, has anybody ever done a jigsaw puzzle? Do you like to do them? So, no, someone forced me. But I wondered, how do you start? So you open up this box and it's like maybe 500 or 1,000 pieces. How do you start? You start with the edges, right? Everybody gets the straight edges. They start with the corners and then the edges. But when you do that, which by the way, that's our strategy when we work on them together, you have this amazing frame. It's awesome, but there's no picture, right? There's still like maybe 800 pieces instead of 1,000 pieces. And the only way that the picture comes together is when you start to make the connections. And to me, that is such an amazing metaphor for everything. Even spiritual mind treatment, the way we pray, right? We have 5 steps, but until you get that third one, that realization that, well, wait, what is my prayer? I mean, that's the whole point of our prayer partnership, right? What do you want? What do you really want? Right? Until you get to that, then all you have is a frame. But when you start to make the connections, that's when the picture comes into play, the whole picture.
So I was on social media. I don't know if you've ever been on social media. Yeah, that's a jungle out there. And so I was on social media, and I read this post that ignited all this vitriol. And the biggest way of expression was name calling. You know, which I feel is really valuable when you're having a discussion. You know, it really opens people up, it opens your heart, it opens your mind. It's actually in Communication 101, the first thing you learn how to shut it down is to start name calling. And the name calling is amazing. It's really getting really creative, like using animals. And anyway, the point being, so I posted I just tried. I tried this. I'm going to throw some love in here. And so I did this post about if we all came to the table, and wouldn't that be wonderful? And no one posted after that. And I thought, well, wait a minute. I think I have stumbled on something really important here.
You're all sitting at their laptops going,
It's very possible. It's very possible to influence what's going on in the world right now with what Gwen was suggesting. Love, and really thinking of ourselves as oneness. Now, in science, we were all correlated in oneness before time and space. That's why we know in our souls that we're all connected, and we do not feel good when we fall to pieces. We don't feel good, but we do it anyway. So anyway, will you try something with me? Okay, I want you to look around the room at each other. Just look around. And there is a greeting called Namaste. Okay, and the Namaste is the spirit in me sees the spirit in you, or honors the spirit in you. And you could use any name. You could use the one mind, the infinite love, the only source, whatever you want to say.
Light.
You could say God. Light. You could say Bubba. Whatever gets you there. You know, it is essentially the God in me sees the God in you, or honors the God in you. And so now I want you to close your eyes. Close your eyes and relax your bodies. Make sure your feet are grounded on the ground. There's nothing in your lap. You know, you're just here, like Ram Dass says, like Max said. Be here now. Just breathe. Breathe into the idea of oneness. This is the first step of spiritual mind treatment. There is only one. One. Feel it in your mind. Feel it in your heart. Feel it in your soul. Feel it in your body. Breathe in. Love. Breathe out. Love. Now open your eyes and look at one another again. And think, spirit in me honors the spirit in you. Now tell me, was there a difference? Was there a difference between the first time you looked at each other and the second time you looked at each other? And we can be that everywhere we go. And so when we're on social media, or when we hear something that's appalling, or we don't agree, or we're like, oh my God, you didn't just say that. You cannot think that. Can you remember this moment to breathe in, to remember Gwen's song, her instruments, and then open your eyes again and see that person as your reflection. What do you think?
I think the difference is intention. That's what I came to when you asked that question. You know, was it different the second time? But I realized the first time I was following an instruction. I don't know if you felt that way. And part of me was like, you're not the boss of me, but Kind of how I roll. But the second time, it was an intention. And again, I go back to prayer, right? Because I grew up, I was raised Catholic from Brooklyn, in case you didn't figure that out. Italian Irish, right? So I lived with people where if it was on their mind, it was on their lips. So I worked very hard to have a filter. And yes, this is me filtered. But totally forgot where I was going with that.
Making me laugh because I thought, oh, you
But
know,
intention.
but I think I'm kind of amazing. We're so close, and we have been for so many years, and we're so opposite.
I know, yeah, we are, yeah.
We are.
And
We're
the way
so
you said
different.
no.
And so we can do different.
Yeah, exactly.
We can do different.
But that intention, that second time when we all looked at one another, at least to me, I should all speak for me, I did it with intention. I looked through the eyes of Namaste, right? And I was greeted back, right, with the eyes of Namaste. The light in me honors the light in you. And as, maybe it sounds silly, but imagine if, like when whatever time of day we decide to check our Insta or Facebook or whatever we're looking at, what if we did that with intention? Like, I'm gonna log in today and just be that. I'm gonna honor people today. I'm not gonna look for the lowest common denominator, right? I think that's what happens. I think we lower the bar so much that people can just walk over it. And I choose to live with that higher bar, right? To set expectations that I have to live up to have values that I have to live up to and model, even when it's difficult. You know, even when I want to let go of the filter and say, no, you didn't. You know, because that could happen in a heartbeat. But that's not who I choose to be, right? I took vows. I was ordained. And it doesn't require that. See, you're here for a reason. You're here for divine purpose. It's a Sunday morning. You could have been anywhere. You could have been having brunch, maybe with a mimosa, who knows? But you're here. You're here with an intention for a purpose. And I think that we're incarnated, we're breathed into existence for a divine purpose.
So I had this idea about spiritual mind treatment, as I said, which is our affirmative prayer. It's a 5-step process I'm teaching a class on it, so it's, on my mind a lot. And I thought, what if everything and everyone we meet is a prayer request? And I'm thinking like this, right? Not a long spiritual mind treatment, but how about just the first step is recognition. And that is where we say, whatever we know to invoke our fields of spirit. It could be whatever it is to you. And we do that simple thing that we recognize that there is a oneness. The second thing is unification. Then we have to know that every sentient being that we meet or read a post about or see on television is unified with us. We are one. And then last, so it's just quick. Spirit is, I am, and then the third step, I know, and all you have to do is know what Gwen said. Love. And so we have a couple of different things we get to take with us this week. The practice of Namaste, which is the same thing as the first and second step, and even the third step, because we have the word honor. I honor the spirit in you, which is the third step. And so basically, if we could, from now until, is there like something big coming up?
Something in November.
What? I've been hearing.
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
2 of them.
So and do you feel like do you feel kind of an escalation of energy in our country, kind of a heightened? And so wouldn't it be wonderful to have something that we take with us that we can remember to do and say and behave behind?
Oh, you mean to like recognize?
To recognize and to not talk smack.
Okay.
You know, like not be Brooklyn. Like how would Brooklyn, you know, be in this idea that I'm saying?
So you have to clarify, my granddaughter's name is Brooklyn, so I'm trying to figure out, are you talking about Brooklyn or me?
You?
Because the granddaughter is 5 years old.
Are you looking for Frankel?
Yeah, thank you. The granddaughter is 5 years old, the one that lives here in San Jose, well, not here, in San Jose where we live. And she walks through the world like she's running for the mayor of everything. My son took her to the beach Thursday. She loves the water. She's so much like her dad. And her mom is a vice principal at a high school. And he took her to the beach and he said, I want to change your clothes. I heard you playing the surf kind of thing. The minute she got there, she saw somebody her size and it was like, bye. And she just went to make a friend. So yes, that is one way to move through the world, like that Brooklyn.
Like, that is a good way.
That is a good way to move through the world.
That's actually a whole new sermon.
You know,
Okay.
running for the mayor of everything. But I also love this quote from Viktor Frankl, who said, between the stimulus and response, there is a space. Think about that 1 second. Between the stimulus and the response, there is a space. And in that space lies our freedom and power to choose our responses. In that space lies our freedom and power to choose our responses. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. So I joke a lot. I do joke a lot about being from Brooklyn. My youngest one says, sarcasm in our family, it's a hug. It's just, we're funny and not hurtful, by the way, not in that respect. But there's also a hair trigger. You know, I mean, literally, last night we went to a new restaurant they would try it for the first time, and our server's name was Sal. And the minute he said that, I went, oh, because everything in me wanted to go, Sal! And I told him that. They said, I grew up hearing that name over and over again, and he laughed. He said, you're from the East Coast, aren't you? And I laughed and said, yes, I am. And he said, I kind of knew that as soon as you started talking, before you got my name. But that response, that hair trigger, requires a pause. It requires a pause. When we were going through ministerial school, through Holmes Institute, our dean was or probably still was, a practicing Buddhist, as well as, a science of mind minister. And I used to love when I got to have one-on-ones with the dean, because every time I had a question, he would do this. He would go, and then he would make eye contact and answer my question. And I thought, what a way to move through the world, to just, when somebody says something, if you could just, and then answer. And sometimes I actually get it. Sometimes I actually do that. Especially if it's, and then sometimes I'm just so excited that no, there is no breathing. I'll just go on for about 2 minutes and I'm like, oh, I should breathe. So, but if we could take that Viktor Frankl, just that amazing wisdom of taking that pause instead of the hair trigger. And can I say one more thing?
I wish you would, hon. You're just loving it.
The other thing that happened when we were in ministerial school, so I want to talk about...
That depends on what you're going to say there.
Yeah, when you said look at one another, I was like, oh, they're gnats. So,
That was...
we had to choose a secondary faith tradition to learn about. And I chose Islam because it was the faith tradition that I knew the least about. And I was, I raised Catholic. My first husband, my ex-husband, was not a practicing Jew, but he was raised, he went to yeshiva, to Hebrew school and all of that. So I knew a lot about Judaism. So I thought, and I knew somewhat about Buddhism because we had a class. So I took Islam and I went to the Islamic Community Center in Santa Clara, huge. And I called first and I was connected with this woman who is she's their community advocate and marketing person. And first of all, I was very impressed that I was connected to a woman because I had assumptions, right, that a woman wouldn't be in a position of leadership or power. But she set up a time, she said, can you come Friday? And she said, can you stay for prayers? Can I have lunch with you? And I was so honored. And I do have ink on my body. I wore long sleeves. And I asked her, should I cover my hair? And she said, no, we don't do that with visitors. But I had a scarf around my neck just in case, especially if we were going in for prayers. And one of the first questions I asked her was, I would love to know, what is your spiritual practice? And she said, could you tell me what you mean by that? And I said, well, so for example, in my faith tradition, we teach a 5-point balanced spiritual practice: prayer, meditation, sacred service, giving, and spiritual education. Like stay teachable, keep reading, And she went, oh. And she said, and I looked at her and I said, if that's an uncomfortable question? She said, no, I don't know how to answer it because my life is my spiritual practice. Wow. And then she told me a story about how strongly she wanted to have a child, especially a male child. She did say, I so wanted to get pregnant, and I wanted to have a boy, and we struggled. I couldn't get pregnant. So we went to Mecca. We did our Hajj, the pilgrimage to Mecca. She said, and while I was in Mecca, I prayed. She said, and not long after we got home, I think I got pregnant on the way home. She was pregnant, and she had a boy. And shortly after that, she got pregnant again and had a second child who was a boy. So she delivered 2 boys in a year and a half or 2 years' time. But she said, and now they're like 5 and 7, something like that. She said, and I work full time, and my husband works. She said, and every now and then I catch myself in the morning with this exasperation, like, where are your shoes? Get to the table, eat your breakfast. Turn that off. Where's your coat? And then all of a sudden, she catches herself. She said, I catch myself, and I'm like, that is my answered prayer. How am I behaving, and who am I being with my answered prayer? And that topic today about pieces into peace, right? Through all of that frantic energy and those things as you're just trying to live your life. But if we could do that, there was that pause between the stimulus and the response. There was a pause. And if we could just do that, because there's so many times where something frustrates the you-know-what out of us. It's like, wait, that was my prayer. That was my prayer.
And that's wonderful. In conclusion, as we wind down, it's been so much fun being up here with you. I always bring a principle every week that comes from our Declaration of Principles written by Ernest Holmes, who's the founder of our teaching and the author of our textbook and many other books. And always I can find something in the Declaration of Principles that works. And today we believe in the incarnation of the Spirit in everyone. And that all people are incarnations of the one Spirit. Again, that should be a tattoo, t-shirt, ball cap. And the practice that I give you to leave this week is the Namaste practice. Now, you can call it the Namaste practice, or you can call it the first 3 steps of spiritual mind treatment. You know, you can call it the practice of love, the energy of love. And the idea is, whatever you call it, it is needed now more than ever. Which is exactly why we're saying, you know, as many things we can say, giving you as many ideas as we can come up with to help you navigate this time in our country, so that we're remembering that we are not pieces of each other. And in order to have peace with each other, we must now practice oneness. What don't you think?
And honor the answered prayer.
And honor.
Because how many people want freedom? How many people remember a time when women or people of color could not vote? So voting is answered prayer, right? Or is it only answered prayer if you vote the way I think you should vote? Right? Answered prayer is answered prayer. Don't regret the very thing that you prayed for. It doesn't matter. You know, and it may matter on some level, on some ethereal level, but you know, red, blue, whatever, vote. It's answered prayer. And it's a freedom that is still denied many. So don't, you know, when the political thing gets too hard, or it's like, those people. Stop. Pause. Breathe. It's answered prayer. I pray for freedom, and there it is.
And free speech.
And there it is.
And so I just wanted to thank you again, because you are my answered prayer. Because I need, and I don't know if you feel this way, but I need constant reminder to behave the way I want to behave. I do. I need,
God bless you, Larry.
I need constant reminders, especially when everything around me is intensified. I need constant reminders of the who I want to be, who I've committed to be. Is anyone else like me? No, not one? What is this, really? That's it? 2 of us?
Be proud. I am a magnificent mess, and God wouldn't change one thing about me.
Be proud of your bad behavior. Let me see those hands. Can I get an amen? Let us pray.
Shall we?
Shall we? I'll start.
Okay.
There is only one power, one presence, one heart, one mind, one body, one love, one intelligence, one abundance, one wisdom, one wholeness, one that creates everything out of itself. It's the artist that paints the sky, the author of love. It is all that there is, all that there is, all that there ever was, all that there will ever be. And I am that is. Created out of it to express it everywhere I am. And I know this in the one mind. So I know all know this from the one mind. And that connects us to each other. And so what is known in my mind is known to all. So I can know this beauty and love and peace and wisdom and intelligence and all that is good for all that I know and all I meet, all I greet, all I don't know, but I indirectly am reading about or from these people that are my people. I know that for this center. I know that in this unification, in this oneness, we walk by faith and not by fear. That we meet each other with the namaste. With the spirit in me honors the spirit in you. Oh, and by the way, I'm looking in the mirror. Oh, and by the way, you're my reflection. Oh, by the way, I am you and you are me. Cuckoo, cuckoo. And I pass my word.
And that knowing is so deep. Because when we take that pause, when we breathe into that place within, we land in that space that is pure potential. Deep within every being that has incarnated from the One, there is a place that knows no upset, that has never been hurt, that has never been betrayed, that has never been hungry, that has never been. We are just pure light and potential. And when I go into that space, then I move through the world from that place of pure potential. And every other being that I encounter, and those that I have yet to meet, have also incarnated as God in form, as spirit in form, to do what can only be done by them, to live as they can only live, to enjoy, to paint, to color, to write, to sing, to love. Only as each one can, each in their own way. But oh, when they come together, when those straight edges are put around the puzzle, and then all of a sudden the middle gets filled in because every piece is connected and the picture is glorious. And the possibility exists to take it apart and rebuild it all over again. And sometimes that has to happen. Pieces into piece. And to know that there is nothing I have to force, be, do, manipulate, or have. It is a divine right. And I am so grateful. I'm so grateful for what I know, grateful for this Center for Spiritual Living and all of the centers for spiritual living who have a faith, a philosophy, a technology, a way of life that will change the world. And from that place of gratitude, I just absolutely know that as I release my word into the action of the law, love points the way and the law makes it possible. And if anything you have heard today rings true for you or relevant or sparks something, will you please anchor our time together, this prayer, by saying, and so it is.
I was told I was broken when at first I believed it. The TV and the magazines agreed. That didn't match the way I felt, so I went searching for myself. Imagine my surprise when I would come to find that the mirror I was handed down had been cracked for generations. I always thought it was an heirloom I should keep. But when I traded it in to look within for the truth of my reflection, I went from pieces to peace. When I could see clearly, everything started changing. No more swimming with that school of fish. 'cause the mirror we were handed down has been cracked for generations. We always thought it was an elevation key, but if we traded it in to look within for the truth of our reflection, we go from pieces to peace. Yes, 'cause we are love, love. We are whole and complete. We are one, a reflection of divinity. But the mirror we were handed down has been cracked for generations. We always thought it was some elevation key. Well, come on, let's trade it in and look within for the truth of our reflection. Yes, and go from pieces, pieces. We'll go from pieces, pieces. Let's go from pieces, pieces to peace. We'll go from pieces, pieces to peace.
I would like to bring Delane up here, who is the most amazing spirit woman. And she has taken all the practitioner classes. She's happy to pray with you. And she also knows things.
Hi.
Hi.
Sharon asked me to make a little note of all the different places we have been. And it's appropriate that we should be here on Winding Way because it has been a long and winding way to get here. We started at 6035 Main Avenue in Orangevale. It was a beautiful little place, but we outgrew it. And so from there, we went to a place on Folsom Boulevard near Watt. Then we remodeled a building on San Juan and moved in there. When we left that center, we rented a room in Carmichael Community Center. After that, we met in the Chautauqua Playhouse. It was on Ingle, also in Carmichael. At that time, we affiliated with religious churches of religious science, the Centers for Spiritual Living. At that time, we moved back to 3065 Main Avenue. It was a homecoming. Our first home. Then COVID came and interrupted our meetings. We had to change and reorganize. We took a room at the Citrus Heights Community Center. We stayed there for 3 years. Stayed there while we made ready for having our own building once again. So we moved to our new site here on Winding Way, Center for Spiritual Living. And so it is.
And now, Max.
Delane, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
For some reason, she wants to come with you.
Oh, would you like to come with me? Okay.
I missed you.
Oh, okay, I miss you too. So is it okay if I take a moment?
The two of you just have your way with us.
So here's the thing. Typically we say now's the time for gifts, tithes, and offerings. But kind of like before we do that, and what we were talking about today, so I'm a member of the board of trustees, and I'm a practitioner licensed with Reverend Sharon, Sacramento Center for Spiritual Living, holds my license, which I find absolutely amazing. Over a year ago, as a member of your board of trustees, we were asked to do some stretch work. And the stretch work was in the form of this building. We didn't know that yet. We just knew we were going to get a building. We didn't know what building, we didn't know where it was, any of this. Through prayer, we got a demonstration for this building. And with the prayers, we actually signed the lease, but I'm going to cut this short so I don't take too long. This is all answered prayer. Emmett, painting, your answered prayer.
Yes.
Reverend Sharon, Larry, your answered prayer in the form of human beings. Everyone who is sitting in this building who has had an opportunity to be of service, your answered prayer. None of this exists without answered prayer. The bills that we pay are through your generosity, and it's answered prayer. Being here today, if we want to have demonstration, if we want to understand that our lives have meaning, have purpose, we belong, look around. We belong. The folks who are online with us right now, you belong. What you do matters. And I stand as a member of the Board of Trustees, thankful and grateful because you are our answered prayer. So, you can use the donate menu on our website. You can use PayPal, credit card, or you can even mail a personal check to Sacramento Center for Spiritual Living. Yes, my love.
I don't want to belabor the issue, but on June 15th, I accepted a position with our home office. And I'm now a program manager with the Centers for Spiritual Living. And in my role, I assist affiliated communities. So anyone who wants to start a new work, whether it be a teaching chapter, a center just like this, a teaching center, which is kind of like this, but a little different, study groups, just anyone who wants to create a new work, or focus ministry. And that could be a minister who just wants to work with veterans or feed the homeless, right? That's a focus ministry. And I don't want you, Reverend Sharon Dunn, and your community, your board, to ever take for granted what you have built here. Because since 2019, a tremendous amount of ministries have shuttered. Either gave up their building, went 100% virtual, and you went the opposite way because you are you. And you will swim against the tide every time. So I also want you to understand that whether you give $5 or $5,000, it is deeply appreciated, and don't you ever take it for granted either. Your gift is phenomenal. Thank you. Thank you for making this possible.
Love you guys.
And if you will repeat with me our abundance affirmation. In consciousness of abundance, I give freely, knowing that I am freely given to.
Can I say
Yay us.
Yes.
We created this.
Yay!
Yay us. Loving
Yay, Ruth!
So, if you have any prayer requests, please provide your prayer requests online through our website at www.saccsl.org. We have a wonderful time praying and holding the wishes and prayers of everyone. So please, please give us your prayer requests. Next slide, please. There is a class. It's the first Saturday classes. They're in person monthly with Reverend Sharon Dunn-Alberg. The Art and Science of Spiritual Mind Treatment. So the next class is coming up. When is that?
First Saturday night.
Yeah, the first Saturday in October. All are welcome. So at any time, you can join these classes. So please join. They are wonderful. So next slide, please. Spiritual Arts and Wellness Fair.
Is Edna.
And,
Can I talk about this
oh,
really quick?
please do
Don't mind
so.
holding this. So next weekend is so exciting. We're having our Spiritual Arts and Wellness Fair right here in the parking lot and inside. We have 9 vendors ready, and we're hoping for more. I check the mail. But what we need is for you to take some flyers and put it out in your community. Put it out and in the businesses near you. You need to spread the word. We want people to come. That's really what we're hoping for. We want people to come to see our new building, to experience not only the artisans, and we have some wellness people coming too. We have a chiropractor, we have an acupuncturist, we have a certified wellness person that does body tuning. Really exciting, and lots of people to talk to. Bev Barnett is coming to show her artwork and to help us finish the artwork we started that we're going to hang in our sanctuary. So we need you to spread the word. So there are lots of flyers here for you to take home, and also all the volunteers that would love to come and help on that day. The more the merrier, because we're here for this community and to connect with each other. So thank you so much for my commercial.
And thank you for the commercial. All right. So any of us who have our wonderful little other spiritual friends. So I have a Cara. We're going to be having the Blessing of Animals on September 29th. So we have a little member of our family who's Cara, and her picture isn't up here, but one of the things that I used to get a kick out of in all of the centers that we have, and this one, are the blessings of the animals. So it's an opportunity for us to bless those who are with us and those also who have passed and who have crossed over on that rainbow bridge. And we have a couple of our own, but please please bring memorabilia to share with those who have crossed the Rainbow Bridge. Bring your four-legged, two-legged, furry, slithering, winged, swimming, galloping family members to our Animal Kinship Ministry annual animal blessing.
Horse parking outside?
Apparently there is horse parking outside, and there is room for that.
Big shovels.
Reverend Sharon said big shovels.
Okay.
So anyway, please join us for that. And now if you will join me in our affirmation for next week. Repeat with me. The divine in me recognizes and honors the divine in you. And if you will end this with me, please close your eyes, take a deep breath, and know with me that you are connected to Spirit. We are never separate. We are always connected. And repeat after me. I am at home in the heart of God.
I am at home in the heart of God.
My life is anchored in truth.
My life is anchored in truth.
I can never be separate.
I can never be separate.
I am the consciousness of peace.
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 And so it is.
So it is.
And now for our closing song.
So this is leveling up, and I invite anybody to level up and dance along with us if they feel so inspired.